Okay, well, thanks for joining me, everybody. We're back again with another Bubble Bash 5 in review series, and I am very, very excited to be joined by all five players from Yahtzee, the all San Francisco team that placed third place and received the bronze medal at Bumble Bash 5. Um, Thank you, each of you, for joining me. I really appreciate it, and if we could just go one by one and say who you are so the audience can recognize your voices a little better.
Hi everyone. Ryan from SF.
This is Asher. Played like a year in Portland, and then played a year in SF now. I played second speed on the team.
All right. I'm Felix. I played Anchor on the team.
I'm Matt Wu, and I was queening.
And then I'm Blue Chris, and I was the objective main, or at least first objective.
Oh yeah, and I didn't say this, but I was playing for speed. This is Ryan.
Awesome. Very exciting. So we've picked out a couple of matches from the latter end of the bracket to take a look at. The first one we have up is your match against Yeah, That's a No for Me Dog, the ultimate second placed finishers of the tournament in losers finals. And I've got it pulled up, but what kind of was your approach? Like, what was the conversations you were having on like how you would generate victories against this team?
New York's a hard one for we played New York a lot over the years, and it's always been like playing against Dallas feels like you're playing like turbocharged and really fast and uh almost frantic in some ways. And New York's always like a much slower pace and more of a chess match. So I think we were trying to play their game a lot and try and win the chess match. Uh, Not clear how well it went, but it was, I think that was the theory going into it.
The theory was have Felix on the team. That was it. Hopefully Felix could just carry us with a slow, controlled play.
Cool. All right, well, let's get into this. I'm realizing that I have not shared my screen with all of you, which I always forget to do. But you should be able to see it now. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. So it's a pretty standard. You guys get the invade over to far early. Both teams get their speeds up.
Full mill. I didn't remember going full mill.
Yeah, I got a couple speeds out. It's looking good so far. Is this a pincer? Yeah, I mean, they go down to one for a brief second before they get another up.
Yeah, so far this all looks reasonable.
Yeah, this looks really good.
That was definitely an attempted suicide, but it worked out favorably.
Yeah, we got to make sure pop the snail here. I think we're just letting it cruise a little bit more is the only thing I'm seeing.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, we're just going in fight mode. Should be doing more.
I think, sorry to pause it so early, but one thing I think about with especially full mill, but day map in general, is when snail is in this like vertical lane, this long dive lane, I find that it dies right here really easily because it's really hard for a team to control like the box by right gate and the space outside of the gate to make sure that you can't get in there and pop it. So whenever snail's in this spot, that's always when I like to focus on like denying it over and over and over again with like mostly just like a defense priority of like warriors kill drones. I find works really well. Yeah.
So you suggest just like cycling through as a warrior there?
Yeah, which I mean that's what you're doing now, right?
we're doing
You're
it, yeah.
focusing on it. And it like works out great. It just dies there for a long time.
I'm noticing we're having a little trouble getting people up right there. Like we had an advantage for a while, and then we
Do you want me to go back to take a better look at it?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So like right
Right
around
here?
here. So a little farther back, I'd say. So right when we realize that we should be focusing a little more on the snail.
I feel like. Sorry, I'm gonna flip around a bunch to find when they moved it.
Yeah.
I
So
feel
around
like it was
here.
probably like here-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
So
have three.
we have 3. I go for the deny right here. I die. And then so I take this time to be able to say, okay, I can go get speed right now.
Mhm.
And we have 2 gates. And we're just kind of stuck in the middle right here. Me and Matt.
Let's go back and take a look at that specific section and see if there's something we could have done. I feel like, because I feel like there's a good chance here for middle gate.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm wondering if I should have just tried for the sack and let Matt try and get a trade with someone. Trade me for someone.
What do you mean?
So I'm like jumping around at mid gate, and Matt's sort of like with the 2 warriors there.
Based on how I was moving around, I think I was expecting you to stick in the gate.
Okay.
Which gate is this?
Mid gate. Right
Mid-gate right here?
here. Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need a little more clearance from. Are the cap positions correct on the stream, Ryan? Are you skulls? Or is it flipped on this? Sometimes they were flipped.
No,
He
they're
is
correct.
skulls.
Ryan's
Okay.
skulls, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's this 2-piece configuration on this spot, right? You guys are both kind of holding like the right side, suppressing the queen. But I feel like, let me take another look. I feel like what I would do here is just keep pushing left, Matt, as queen.
Yeah.
To like move that a little more left, and then especially as this queen goes down, like now Ryan, if checkers is jumping up and skulls is coming over and queen's holding like here still, I mean I like that you go low a little bit to like screen it, but I think this rightward movement loses us the form.
I think I was playing a little bit too safe.
I think one alternative, if we want to play safe, a spot that I see that is actually really easy to get a form is right here. And it's just by having queen go above right gate right now. Because Felix as checkers, you're not in danger of getting killed by the queen. And so if we just hold this spot, what's going to happen is skulls on their team, gold skulls, sword is drawn to getting stripes out. So you actually have a lot of clearance at middle, which is great, because the biggest concern about going to right gate here is that skulls comes and caps you, holding you there, and then gold queen tags middle and then comes over, and then they're like full piece configurationing you here at right gate. That's like a lose con. But because skulls is going to this operation, I think if you hold this spot and then the moment gold queen tags middle, like once she goes here, like right below gold hive to go tag it, that's when I would break over and push her like in the middle, and then you have 1-to-1 gates and you're both fighting over middle. Would be like the situation that I'd be trying to create right now. Because like right here, Oops, sorry. If you're at right gate, Abs is nowhere near that, and Checkers is forming up right now. Right now.
That makes sense. Matt, what do you think?
Right gate looks pretty good there.
It kind of feels bad because it's like, it feels like I'm giving up a gate, but because of some like other external factors, we're gonna be able to like pressure right after that. And when we're in recovery, I think gates are like the number one thing you get to trade to get formations.
I like that mentality.
But even still, like, it works out. I feel like, yeah, I like the form here. I kind of liked it even when you had 3 warriors, Felix.
Yeah, I was just I felt the necessity to like try and prevent it from getting out of the tunnel again.
Totally, that makes sense. Which maybe that's another. I think that's whenever I first started kind of really pushing for like persistent full mill on day. I think that's like a really common emotion is like I don't want it out of the tunnel, and that's why I kind of stress how reliable denials are on this vertical lane, because it's like, well, what if we have 4 more seconds before we panic?
Woody, I'd be really curious what your thoughts are about like what are the moments you feel like full mill is viable and not viable. Like you're saying that that was like a good moment for it, but like it's hard for me to recognize when a good moment to go full mill on day map is.
Sure. I mean, I think full mill versus 3-1, whenever like neither team is successfully able to control the snail space at a given moment, is like you're trying to create a power play. It's kind of like pulling your goalie out of the box in hockey or something. Like you're trying to like make it so that you have more warriors in a spot where both teams have decided that we are going to fight. And so it's like, if you imagine this situation, which like obviously you have more warriors than them here, but like their snail's not imminent. And if you get another speed warrior up here, and then you're outnumbering them 4-2, like they can't ride snail. Like the New Yorkian strategy of have control over the map so that we can move objective, like if you get up full mill and make it so that they're constantly in recovery, then they never have control over the map to be able to facilitate that operation. And so you can like watch teams that want to do like a more vanilla heavy 3-1, just like their drone will die 25 times in a row, just dying at snail over and over again, and that's the game state we're trying to create. So to me here, having a speed resource going full mill and then just like saying we're gonna wipe your whole team and put you into lockout on the most brutal lockout map in the game, like that's the threat that I would look for here. But it's mostly like I think if snail is literally like 3 inches to the left, I don't know if I agree with it. Or even if just like there's like I think you don't have control over the snail space. So like if right here, it's tough because I think you could get the pullback, but the only way you're going to get this pullback, I think, is if who strikes Blue Chris. I think there's 2 options here: get full mill and just beat the heck out of him, or Blue Chris right here. You should J dive into the tunnel and then just hold the right side of the tunnel for like 3 seconds. And then you have guaranteed like speed snail progress. Oh, you do exactly that. It just doesn't work out. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Richard hits a great drone bump.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard's pretty good at those. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, and I think that's actually like another reason. Like I look at that situation on the snail and I think, well, we could probably get this pullback, but it might go fucky wucky. And that's like it's almost never wrong, especially on day, to get up another speed warrior. Like there's very few situations where you go, man, why'd we get up a speed warrior? But there's a lot of situations where you go, well, we went for this play on snail and it didn't pan out, and then that kind of transformed the game state and it got really far as a result. Like there's a lot that flow like that. So in a weird way, I tend to think mill is oftentimes safer, which I feel like doesn't feel like historically accurate.
Man, I fucked up that
I think
form.
it's really interesting.
Because we do get to this state where it's like it's crazy to think that you had like you had 3 warriors and you were considering a 4th, and then we get into a game state where like they have military advantage. I kind of want to see. Yeah, because they have 2, you have 3. I think there's. Oh, there's an unfortunate error.
Yeah, it's like we take 2 unfortunate deaths really quickly, and then
That makes sense.
yeah. Asher gets back up quickly though.
This is good. Definitely. Yep. Stop the snail. Yeah, because this is exactly what they want. Is where like snail is a huge magnet that is drawing all of your military, and making it much harder for you all to play. But some great stuff, and it feels pretty equalized. They lost a couple warriors there. I didn't really see how they. How did the first one
So-
die? Oh, it's just like you turn around and get it, Matt.
And then I was expecting a pincer there and
Oh,
then overcommitted to it.
But you do get the warrior
With
kill. Matt picks
With
it up.
abs? With me?
With Queen.
Here,
So I'm J'ing in. I'm the pure J'ing expecting the other edge to be capped.
right here.
Yeah.
Oh man, wants the pickup.
Makes sense.
I think both plays make sense.
Mm-hmm.
One of those tough things. So much of the game is.
I think I paused for a second and then I left as soon as I saw I paused for a second, but then I moved as soon as Felix was directly underneath me.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, because that's the exact, like, perfect formation timing. A lot of good strategy is just talking about the game so much with people that you do the same thing at the same time rather than different things. Okay. I remember watching that one.
But it's still hard.
Yeah, it's
Totally.
really hard.
This is
Kevin played that pretty well.
Matt, this is just going to be for you. This is a super specific queen thing, but one of the big things that I recommend when you don't have any of the gates, both in like actual lockout situations, but also in dive under is also very good. But the surefire thing is go up by speed gate. Like if instead of committing in here, if you go up this way,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I get either mid or left.
Exactly. Yeah, for the viewers, the idea in recovery as a queen is you want to diversify which gates you can get to. Right here, Matt as blue queen can only go to left gate. Like that's the first gate that he has to go to. But if you're up here in the same space, you have either option, and gold queen has to like outplay to stop it. But
I think I do that sometimes. I think I might have misjudged how close gold queen was. It's probably safer to go over. It costs like an extra half second maybe.
Yeah.
To go higher.
Yeah, I don't think it's like revolutionary advice.
It's just something that if it's a pattern.
It's just always surprising how powerful it is. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I just think like I can see why Matt might read this as get to the gate as quickly as possible. You just like wiped their team. You don't expect to have to play that particular recovery game when the other team has no warriors.
Totally. Yeah, I think I find it surprising how frequently, even when your team gets wiped, that if you have all the gates, like your opponent just doesn't get back up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, yeah, they don't have any warriors, but if you don't get a recovery one-on-one versus their queen in the next 6 seconds, they're gonna have 2 vanillas. and then you're just back into lockout, like traditional lockout. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure
like watch
there's
this game and it's like where did it all fall apart? Is it just like a we just two people died at once, I guess. I died when I went for like a stick and Felix died at the same time, and then we were kind of down to one or two warriors from then on.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really good at just pressing that advantage. And then, what we got the full team wipe, and then we didn't get anyone up, which was unfortunate. We got one.
Yeah, like even in
And
this game state, it's pretty neutral to me. I mean, it's not. It's in their favor, but I don't think pretty dramatically.
This is a misplay by me then. Do I need to like meet up more with my queen? I try and just get to the tall columns because I know it's really safe. Should I be trying to like, yeah, I don't know. I try to meet up with her and then I just get pinched, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you get out of it, and then Queen had the right cap, so there wasn't a ton of options. I think this might be the only moment I see where someone has I don't know the right word to describe like like it's like the opposite of having like when the onus is on you. I don't know. Like you have like the initiative, like you have the capacity to make decisions rather than simply like I think the last like minute of play
Initiative?
has been defined. Initiative. Thank you. Thank you. I think Felix, now that you're up speed, this is like the first time in a while that I see anyone like actually have the initiative to do something. Um and I think the only thing that I would recommend here is killing Snail over and over and over again. I think like
Mhm.
the
I guess when you're speed against 3 vanillas, you can afford to do that, maybe.
Yeah, I usually that's my whatchamacallit, my instinct in these situations. But Matt does have a lot of eggs, so maybe that was probably the right decision there instead.
yeah,
Like, so my thought process here is that I've had uh this is a struggle that I have a lot where I have to decide between whether to support the queen or try and like draw as many pieces down as possible towards like some other part of the map. Um and in this particular case I thought that supporting Matt to get another form would have been better. But I can totally see just like forcing like Wyatt and BK to fight me might have been the better down at Snail might have just been the better solution.
yeah, I think there's a few ways to think about it. Um I think there's two different levers here, right? Which is where does my queen go for recovery and where does my warrior go? Which kind of gives us like three variants, which is like queen and speed warrior can be away from Snail, helping recover. Queen can be away from Snail and warrior can be on Snail. Or we can be trying to recover out of the gate nearest their Snail, and like both are attempting, like if instead of at left, we're us being at left gate, like both of you are at right gate, and it's like let's recover out of their gate and deny Snail. I think those are kind of like the three variants here. um for what it's worth, whenever you form Felix right here, I think the decision to break into middle is just like fully correct. But the weird thing is right here, they're about to get on Snail and like no one's guarding it. Like this, it's I mean this is maybe too granular, but like this moment is like when I would want to go this way
Interesting.
because
Okay.
this queen is going to push that way. Like
Right.
she's going to go and meet at middle, and I like if I
Mhm.
was you, I'm looking to fall right there. I'm going to beat stripes,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to be at Snail and pop it. One thing that might help kind of merge the concepts as well is and this I think I learned this most from queening and then started applying it to warrior play, which is I get to play the game and like try to recover and like try to create plays and that sort of stuff after I do the chore of killing their single snail rider. So like their snail rider, I mean, how many seconds does it take to fall all the way to the bottom of the map? 6? I don't know, something like that. So the idea is like kill the snail rider, and then you have 6 seconds to go do something, to go help a recovery, to make a pincer with your queen, and then you have to be back and kill snail, and you just like cycle between those two, really really aggressively every single time you kill their snail rider.
Okay, that's probably a good weapon to add to my repertoire, because like I do have moments where I hyper focus on snail. So, maybe I could have gotten that kill.
You all almost wiped this team here. Matt, you almost just I thought when I watched this live, I thought you were just gonna like hold right there and get a double kill. It's so close.
Yeah.
You can only ask for so many multi
if I
kills.
kept holding right.
Oh, you didn't have the scrape?
Yeah, I don't think I had the spacing. It doesn't feel like I had it.
You can only ask your queen for so many multi kills.
And then I'm so sad that I missed this stick in a few seconds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would have kept us in for longer. And yeah, that's a good cap.
I like that hesitation by Felix on the drone pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Felix, you just do great denying snail here.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah, that's
hard.
why it's like useful to hear you say like, you know, you have like 6 seconds to go between like killing the snail and going to do something else, because that like just strengthens my ability to be like, when is the snail rider back?
This is just a good situation for you all, though. I thought I have not watched
I thought
this
this
in
was
a while.
over. Me too. I've forgotten that we didn't just lose there.
Yeah, you get another kill.
Yeah, I think Matt stays alive forever on last here.
Yeah.
I think something worth thinking of just broadly, I think we all kind of understand the concept. Because I don't think this death is particularly bad, Ryan. I know you made a noise at it.
I made a noise. That's an unfortunate one.
I think this is the third time this game that I've seen one where like the death is inevitable, but also like make it take forever.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Just scraping here, like once it's this position, like you're dead. And this isn't really about your point. It's something about like Killer Queen in a lot of ways. How people talk about it is like an exchange of time. You know, like if a game lasts 5 minutes, then like how much time one person, like you as a player, can steal from 2 people or 3 people, or you can trade up. Like a drone can steal time from a queen. That sort of exchange is really really valuable. So like just scraping here, and instead of dying here, dying after they hit the J die, because like even like I don't think you even die necessarily if they hit that perfect J and you're scraping. Like I don't think you get pushed all the way out. But even if you do, it's like
Felix was there like a moment later.
Exactly.
Potentially
so like
even clear out the right side of it.
Maybe someone gets to you, but like that's why sometimes I even like just like, and I think that's what you did a great job of like continuing to fall. Like maybe there were some moments you could get out, like right there or something. You kind of put yourself back in pincer, but like instead of dying here, instead of dying here, I love that you go to the next ledge. That's like, if I'm gonna die, let me take as much time for you as possible. And that's like a virtue that
I think I was trying to do what you're suggesting. I just didn't quite establish.
Totally. But I brought it up. That's why I was like, this isn't really about what you did, but I think there was like 3 times where I was like, ooh, someone could have stolen 0.5 to 1 seconds more on their death. And when a team is eking out all of the seconds collectively, it just gets like, it's surprising how much it adds up at the end of a match. Yeah. I feel like it was just kind of warrior. Some unfortunate deaths led to a lot of cycling, and then our queen died more in recovery than their queen did. It's kind of. I guess that's just how day map works, but
Yeah, that sounds about roughly about right.
Matt, I love this decision to tag speed gates here, mostly because it's always the correct thing to do against New York and rarely the correct thing to do against anybody else. And I don't understand it, but I mean they got their goal, right? Snails where they want it, and like now they're gonna get the gates back, but I always
In
find it
exchange for 3 speed
interesting.
warriors for the time being.
Yeah, exactly. All of the top, it's like one of the number one New York Buster things I think on Night Map is like every top New York team will just have their queen scrape at middle gate while you tag all other 4 gates on the map, like until Snail is out, is like off the rope, and it's like, yeah, I'll give you a Snail off the rope for 4 out of 5 gates, sure.
Yeah, even when we were playing with BK in Salt Lake, his main thing was, we're gonna park me above the mid gate. We're gonna then park the Vanilla Warrior as soon as they form under the mid gate, and then we're just gonna push the Snail off the rope. Actually, I was watching a few Dallas games. They kind of have taken that route as well sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
The New York the New York night opening, like that early night.
Yeah, the strong
early,
Snail push off
like
the
full commit
off the
to
rip.
mid. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they very much have been doing that, including sending 2 drones immediately to mid.
I feel like this coming sequence is going to be like the most important of the game. I don't really know how long the map is, but like to me, I look at this screen right now and like blue should win 90% of this configuration. Like,
I think I like Snail a lot more than berries here. Until they get another warrior up, at least.
Yeah. But I don't think they should get another warrior up. Like we didn't let them get another warrior up in this situation. I think it's lockoutable here.
I think Ryan and I are fighting a warrior.
Yeah.
Here, and like maybe we just shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I think we're just a little bit of out of coordination. That we keep taking the same side and not keeping them pinned in and letting them escape a few times in a row.
I think to the question of should you be doing it is always like denying a vanilla warrior is equally as valuable as killing a vanilla warrior. And also they get a lot of speed drones here. So like here they have not when do they get one? Okay, so they don't have all the gates. Oh, they're white.
Oh, missed the wipe.
We have a state here where you have two speed warriors and they're wiped. This is especially where I think like game should be over. I feel like it's tough because they do have this speed gate. And like I would love to see you kill that, Ryan. But they do get up. So I don't know. This is a tough moment. I think it has to be Matt kill Abs? I don't know. This is a lot of micro reasons why they get up.
Even if I kill Abs, then checks maybe gets in.
I mean, you're not going to stop checks anyways. But I see what you're saying. Because Queen can box out the warrior more?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I think Ryan's got to play lockout there. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I like going
Felix
to
could
stop the
maybe
speed
jump
drone.
off of Snail to bump gold checks away to buy us like another second.
Yeah,
Or
I could have done that.
away.
Could have right here. I could have started playing I could have recognized that the drones were going to mid, and then
I love going to mid gate as a drone.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Kill
Just
me
wait
and
till
then
the
I
board
get
lands
back on
set.
tail?
So you think play lockout here instead of, especially if I'm a little late, trying to pick off that speed run or prevent that speed run?
That's my thought. Yeah.
I think that's right. I mean, I'm crazy, so like my opinion is if I was to say like if I was doing my team's review and I was like this is exactly what I want everyone to do, right here, my thought is uh that, and I don't know how much fluidity you had in like configurations or whatnot, but like my idea is the moment you get the wipe here, Felix grabs speed. It's the only gate that's active, and you have the wipe. And Matt tags middle. We form stripes. I think we get fortunate that she leaves here, but I would do, yeah, right at this moment, Matt. I think it's tag right, but I think it's tag left, not follow, to create a 2-to-1 gate advantage. And I would like to see a speed drone, because if it's that situation, what we would have is you'd be sieging queen at middle. You'd have, because stripes does get up, so I like that from Blue Chris. And if we adjust Ryan to supporting this, like imagine if there's 2 speed warriors right here, you have left gate tagged and a vanilla spawning that could like, I think they get there quicker. I think the deny on abs is like a minor technical thing that maybe we could have pulled off, but I think I'm looking for something like that. Snail does get really far, so maybe I'm wrong on the speed decision, but like I even think like
If you have speed, then riding speed snail back is a lot more compelling.
yeah. And
Yeah.
one thing, like say everything goes the same, but we have a speed drone in a similar location. The moment abs start spawning, my argument is Speedberry right here.
Yep.
Because they have control over this zone. Just dunk
Yep.
this berry in. And when you have speed split, you have so much onus to just do like whatever you want. Because Snail's under control in this location. So we don't have to. Yeah, you even switch to the berry. Okay, so it fits in your paradigm.
Yeah, we're a very switch heavy team.
Yeah, I figured. I'm familiar with the wilds of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, every player was every position.
Okay, cool.
We all played queen this tournament.
Total killer queen, baby.
It was on the table anyway.
Yeah, those are at least my thoughts. I think my recommendation is like obviously you 5 need to build your own strategy. And we'll keep iterating it is what I mean. Obviously you've built strategy, but I think like these moments to me are the ones that you should like bookmark and be like, if when we had 2 speeds and they had 0 warriors, how do we not win the game? When we have 3 warriors and they have 1 vanilla, how do we not win the game? And just like look at what approaches to lockout, and like as a collective, like look at other teams who have success on lockout against teams that you didn't have success against, and like see what they're doing, and just like, because lockout's hardest. Night map is very hard to lock out on, but it's not impossible, and you can really minimize like them getting 3 warriors up, including 2 speeds, is kind of wild. Like really impressive from them.
Yeah.
But I think also like could have not happened if we make some adjustments.
I really like the suggestion to go speed drone for Felix there. I think that would have been sick.
Yeah, I like. It's
tough
one of
call to
those
make
things
with
where
Mother.
it's like I stopped looking for it as much after day 1. We talked about it. And so like but yeah, like I should be looking for speed more as a drone.
That's true. I think we were having some objective issues. Just playing from behind a lot, and maybe we de-emphasized getting speed in those spots just a little bit.
There was a Chicago game in grand finals where I remember they just kept stacking up speed warriors on Dusk.
and they
We
let
did?
Snail get like, yeah, I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. We were pretty comfortable when Snail
It
was
was
like
on Dusk.
at Bevel on Dusk. When Snail's at Bevel on Dusk, I think like Snail's really good on Dusk. Like it moves pretty reliably, but I think of Bevel on Dusk the same way that I think of that vertical dive lane on Day, like to a lesser extent, maybe 75% as intense as what I was saying about that vertical dive lane, where it just dies there a lot. I think if you look at like 10,000 games of competitive Killer Queen, there's like hotspots where Snail just dies for some reason. Like it's just really hard for teams to configure to move Snail past certain spots on the map. And so we basically analyzed those spots, and then we're like, well, what if we incorporate that into strategy? And are like, hey, if Snail's really hard to move past that point, maybe we exploit that. And then
Oh, I wanted them to family so badly here.
I don't know what it is. People don't family anymore.
It's my fault.
It's your fault?
It's all my
your...
fault.
All right, the review's over. Sorry, I can't.
Gold 100% has time to family here.
They do.
They have every single game. They have like, we're wives.
I'm still mad at Rishi. I don't know if everybody knows Rishi from Chicago. I'll never forgive him because we could have familyed the final map of KQ30 Grands. Like just accidentally. Like we were all in the frame, complete, like we were just closing out Stale and we all happened to be there and alive. And Rishi like purposefully left it because he was like, no. And I was like, Rishi, it would have been legendary. It would have been like people would still talk about it. Of like, yeah, no, family and grand finals. So
Matt made me promise that I would family if we got high enough. It's like, okay.
That's amazing.
And the opportunity presents itself.
And the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
I would not purpose was
That's
I
why
was
I like my
told I would
favorite
not
map.
purposely run away.
Was there anything more we wanted to talk about in that night map? I feel like there's, or is it just like look for those leverageable spots and try to reanalyze them going forward?
Like I don't understand how the Snail moves so much. Like after the waterfall, after it gets the waterfall, it just like it feels like it's just sucked to the net. I don't know how this happens.
Yeah, like I feel like we're not ignoring it. Like we are very much trying to stay up on the Snail.
I
Clear
think
it regularly.
I think the endeavor is there, but the micro isn't. If I may, like,
sure.
Like look at Snail right now. Like let's just rewatch this sequence and look at Snail, and time how much time it should move. Shouldn't be moving. Shouldn't be moving. Shouldn't be moving. Shouldn't be moving. Like that entire sequence. There's no reason it's Blue Chris in this circumstance. I know you're looking at the left gate, but I think right here, like there's no reason it doesn't die. And that's...
Yeah, I was kind of noticing this where if I rotated with Felix, I probably should have been playing a little more Snail Escort in general. So it's probably on me for missing a lot of that for certain progress. But like right here, he just flexed back up, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's like this is fine. It makes sense that it's moving here. They're controlling it. I think it's about like who has the shortest tether to Snail at a given moment is usually how my team thinks about it.
Yeah, just who's in position? Who's in the best position?
This is Blue Chris and Felix moment. This is actually one of the few times that I really got to give it up to New Yorkian high mid low. Is like this Snail is free to kill, but only if one of you stays high. But instead we get here.
Yeah,
so like
maybe
go ahead.
That was a miscoordination on our part.
Yeah. So like just one of you being, and is one of you vanilla?
Both of us are.
I think
no, I'm
Stripes is speed.
Stripes is speed.
So my argument is
I should have instinctually stayed high. Yeah.
I actually in my more and more I think the opposite, but each team come to their own strategies. New York loves when they are in recovery, or just in general, like having their speed warrior, especially if you have more than one speed, which you do, kill the Snail, because it's so much easier for a speed warrior to kill Snail and get out, like, and to live.
Yeah.
So like that's one worth looking at. Like we lost 2 warriors here on snail denial, but like really the snail should be here. And that's why we're dying, because if we keep it kind of in stage 1 is what I call, like not just the rope, but once it's past the night map ledge, to me, the not night map, midgate ledge, like this line. Once it's past the little ledge, the baby ledge here, that's what I call stage 2 of snail push. We're trying to stop it from moving into different stages. But like, even here, we might be able to get to it. No, not once queen hits the J. Once queen hits the J, we can't. This is good. That's unfortunate. Yeah, maybe we could have gotten that pop, but that's a decision-making thing, not like an efficiency. That's very fortunate kill, Felix. Great job.
Thank you. I learned from Sam.
If I bumble, they will blunder. Yeah, this is another moment. It's one of those, like, the game is a lot of micro inefficiencies, but like shouldn't be moving, isn't moving, right? And like, I mean, how long does it take on night map to move the snail? Is it 35 seconds? Does anyone know?
I don't know the actual timing.
I think pure interrupted, it's like 35.
Sounds right.
Shouldn't be moving. Yeah. So like every second, it shouldn't be moving. Like right. It's tough to say. Oops. Oh no. What did I do? Lo-fi hip hop beats. What
Let's
the?
go.
What just happened? What just happened? Oh my god. Sorry, team.
Disaster.
Oh, we got back shockingly fast. We do get a good ride back. Where were we? So sorry. Oh, this was too
far back, yeah.
Oh, I just saw a tap to flap. I didn't even notice it while we were watching it before.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think one thing, like this moment too, is like kind of another, maybe it's a little aggressive, or maybe it's a little something, but like to me, Felix, like go straight here.
Yeah, I was just thinking that on this freeze frame. It's
Cool.
like if Ryan drops and I like instead
Ryan
of going
can't really
for it.
drop right now.
Well,
both
yeah, I'm not
ways.
gonna drop.
Right. If I cycle back towards the other end, it like creates a very like interesting opportunity.
Yeah, Ryan can't drop, but if Queen is gonna dive this way and push Ryan out or stop you from dropping, like this configuration is stealing all of their time. And like obviously that's what they want to do. Like they want to have 4 pieces moving this snail and win the game that way. But we want to make it so they only get to do one thing. So like if we're containing them all here, because even like Queen goes this way to get this final gate. Like if we're capping right here and Queen's there, like Matt's gonna get every gate and be at snail when it's like here. Which is, it's not fun to have snail there. It's not good, but that's better. We've created the best situation possible, which is that we have gate control rather than the opposite. And they'll probably send, because they don't really like, New York doesn't really play the game where like we don't have the gates, but we're gonna close out snail anyways. So if you get all the gates, that's like a tool you can use to move their queen away. Like Kevin will leave to tag gates even on snail closeout. Like they're gonna be like, no, we don't have the gates, we're not gonna close out.
That might
Out of
be a
curiosity,
discussion
do
for
you think
later.
that's
What do you
like
think
the
about like Queen giving up every single gate in order to like hard close out on maybe Dusk or whatever?
I think there's actually a really good example of me choosing to do that in grand finals that like Marshall and I actually talked about later, because he's like, I would have never done that. Where like we had a speed snail at Bevel on Dusk and I didn't tag a gate for the rest of the game. I think it's modal. I think it's communicative. I think it's like modal as in like you have different modes that you can choose to execute. And it's like a strategy that you have to like discuss and make sure people know.
I chose to go mid and I could have stayed right. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Ryan, it's kind of the same lesson, or not lesson, but like point that we were talking about with Felix on the day map. where it's like you do get forced out, but I think right here,
Yeah, I'll already go back. I was thinking I could spend a moment to try to help support the mid form, but I think you're right. Just go
Totally.
straight back to it. Because so much progress there.
yeah. So it's like I think it's tough because like we wanted to talk about the snail push, and like Killer Queen is a game of inches. It's really a game of like centimeters, but it's like we look at 3 or 4 situations there, which like maybe each one of them was 0.5 to 3 seconds of snail movement, but when you add them all up, you get to like 7 to 10 seconds of snail progress. And
That's
that
like
is
33% on this map.
yeah, it's almost a third of the progress. Depending on how, if it's 35 or 40, I forget what it is. It might be 38. I don't know. I don't care. If it's 25 or if it's 35, somewhere between that, 25 and 35% of the snail progress, like that's huge. And that's the scary thing about Nightmap Snail is like, whoa, if I'm not killing it every single time it's inching away, it's in the net. So it's like you look at each one of the circumstances and like no one played particularly poorly. Like no one did anything glaringly wrong. But then you go, how did New York move snail so far? And it's just like, it just does move that quickly.
Just those little leaks.
Yeah.
Accumulating over the course of a map.
Yeah. Especially like once you move it past like certain inflection points as well.
Yeah, once it gets into the second stage, like
Mhm.
is that what he calls it?
Yeah. One other thing I want to say actually about the stages is one of the big reasons why the first stage, keeping snail not past the baby ledge, is important, is because that's where you can kill snail and easily get to the escape path.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
in the middle of the map. But if it's in stage 2, you got to go back up, or you got to sneak out underneath people. Like this spot is really scary to go into. Like you need a buddy or two to make sure
It's
you're
much
getting out.
more. It's much more day-like.
Yes, that's actually one of the things that I've phrased it before. Me and my teammates phrased it before, is that this is the floor of Night Map.
Yep, 100%.
That's how I've always
Yep.
thought about it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's cool that that's like a thing that people do. So if we can choose to not have a floor, that's what we want to choose.
Yeah, generally on teams I play on, I'm the like stall specialist. So like those are spots that I often think about where I can stop snail easiest. I just did not at all get up right there.
Where you going, mid?
Yeah, but I end up at their gate as well, so it
Yeah,
works
that's
out.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this
a
is
trade you're
the
willing to
the
make.
tri-form open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asymmetric openers are always annoying for the safe vanilla, I feel like, because you're like, wait, I'm supposed to get up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if Felix or Chris is getting up. One of them is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I just screwed up the what do we call it? Their
Delay.
disrupt.
Yeah, we had a similar like thing where we were trying
Oh.
to get up whichever vanilla, but we found that it was kind of annoying because like our first vanilla is our ledge guard. And so I was like, sorry, Nick, if you're the one who gets up, you have to ledge from all the way across the screen. And then we made an adjustment that Dan, as first speed, would put like more assistance to ledge if Nick was the ledge guard to like counteract that.
That adjustment.
But this looks pretty good for you.
Yeah, this map.
I think we
really,
win this
really
map
good.
pretty
Yeah, this
handily.
is the one we win.
Nice. I love that you're doing like a 2-2 split with a speed drone.
Yeah,
this
Felix
is definitely
I think Felix holds speed like the entire map almost.
so good.
Nearly, yeah, I think so.
And then I grab it there as
Until
well.
I like have to try and run for it, but then you get it anyway.
This might be
And then I get speed again.
one of the few moments where the form makes most sense. I don't know if 3-1 was ever something you consider when you get pretty far along.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are you talking about me running the barrier there instead of forming?
No, I'm actually talking about Felix. Yeah, because I mean, I've one of you, but I feel like it's Felix Warriors before Chris, is what I assumed the structure was. All things being created equal. I mean, you get that variance, so I don't
that would be
care.
the ideal setup, because then he can take over ledge and free up people with better view for escorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the rest of the juniors this. We definitely kind of fell into the philosophy of having 2 objector runners, because then you can run front door and back door at the same time, which I think is basically how we win it right here.
Yeah.
Is like
The
they have to
low
play
I mean,
2
that was
people.
like a high and low, yeah. But
Yeah.
same,
Yeah, the
same
high
idea.
Same idea though.
Yeah, my only thought was you definitely get them all in, which is great. My only thought was they had 3 warriors.
That means they have 1 less very runner.
It's true.
It means
On
your
this
speed
map
keeps scrubbing.
specifically.
But it was throwing a hole in the split. You ended up just double burying and getting it in. But whenever they were denying the snail really well because of the 3rd warrior.
Yeah, that's true.
Not a lot of critiques to have about a victory where your opponent is 3 berries out. Especially with 1 runner, because it's like, that's going to take a long time.
And what we had like, were you and Asher both speed there, Ryan?
No,
I think I was vanilla. Yeah.
Okay, I mean it's not getting past 2 ledges with 1 speed.
Well, it is with 3 clears.
Yeah, with enough time.
It's the 2 different berry strategies, right? Drones splitting and sneaking past warriors, or like using your clears to call their ledges equal. If you have 1 more clear than they have ledges, theoretically, it's like you hold each other even and the berry gets in, or one of them has to die and then the next one gets in. This is a really close set. I know that like it's a 3-1 count, but like the day and the night so far were, you had like victory points. Like
Yeah, we had advantage in a couple spots in both those maps. Like we had
I'm
chances.
really curious to see how this game goes, because I felt like I played really, really badly this game immediately afterwards, and I haven't watched it since then.
I don't mind this.
I mean, I just suicided immediately to try and to try and get the early snow clear, but
Chris, I don't mind this decision to not get in, but I think you should grab speed.
No, well, I didn't, because I saw that Felix also had speed. And Asher, do you have speed here? I think you're vanilla. But I basically read as we're gonna be 3-1 at that point, and I should go sack snail and become objective again.
I really like.
That's a good start.
If you can win way too much speed, I really like 3-1 versus 3-1, where you run a speed berry, actually.
Sure. Yeah, I was probably overcorrecting for the fact they'd been out playing us a snail the whole time, so I didn't want it to get too far.
That's fair. I think it was one of those things was it seemed really equal, because like the amount of time you stood at left gate waiting for the team to break through.
Well, that's because I didn't want my queen diving. I was there to bump. You can see me actually do that to basically mimic a stacking with my drone body.
Oh, okay. If that's what you're going for, I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it guarantees the form, and then, well, we end up struggling a bit for the second one, but we get it there too.
Yeah, if it's drone assistance on formations, hell yeah. I didn't realize you were looking for that. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good situation.
I think it's so interesting that you said that this set was close, because like the mentality felt just like, oh man, I think I was still holding on to our previous set loss of 0-3, and so it's like, okay, we're 5-1 against them at this exact moment.
I
think
the mantis and the rab.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go on, Asher.
I think this shows like mentality's hard. I guess it's just like mentality's hard in this game. I think it's like really important at the high level, and I think like trying to remember that these wins were actually really, or these losses were close.
Yeah,
would have been.
Yeah, and each
really
game is a different
good
game
for my
too.
mentality. Oh sure, yeah.
Sometimes set counts can not be close, and matches can be close. And sometimes set counts can be close, but the matches weren't close. Where it's like, if your victories were really solid and your defeats were, like, you can have a 2-2 set where, like, you almost won every game. Like, all
Yeah,
of
I'm
that
thinking
can
back to 35 where my team, we 0-6'd out and it took over an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we played like 4 famines and 2 soft famines on Dusk. Like,
Yeah.
just a slug. Just a slugfest.
Yeah. Like, even to the point, like, when do we kill this queen? Like, right here?
Right here at Midgate.
Like, you have 2 warriors, including a speed. Their queen's on last, and their snail isn't that far. Like, there's no way to objectively look at this game other than you almost win. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
of course, they do win, and they deserve, like, the recognition and credit that clutching out games, like, earns. But they're not stomps. Like, not a single one of these maps was like, oh, yeah, they just beat us.
That wasn't like grand finals.
I thought some of those maps were good.
Yeah,
Rude.
brutal.
Not all statements by guest are sanctioned by Killer Queen Flight School or proprietors or advertisers.
That was such an easy clear that I missed. Oh well. It was also a dangerous clear, actually.
Oh, that's such an unfortunate. I can't believe you didn't get that kill in the rap, Matt. That was so weird.
Yeah, I've been getting screwed by the wrap a lot this game.
I kind of want to go back and just look at the snail here and see.
If we're like losing 2 or 3 seconds again a bunch of times.
This is another one, maybe, like, right here. It's so little, but, like, I think it's, like, kind of all that time that I was pausing, I think is time, Felix, where I'm like, that's the moment you have to, like, right here, the moment the lock-in is assured, I think it's instant leave and go to snail.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. As soon as I saw the lock-in, I should have been heading there.
Yeah. It's so tough, and it's tough to say anything because, like, you do great and you get a queen kill and your team is, like, overtaking snail together, but it's like, with the New York, like, plan of so much aggressive, I think even here, like, being on the other side, like, I like the support, but it's also like, this is getting dire. I feel like the tough thing to me, and maybe this is a better way of conceptualizing it, is like, a lot of warriors are dying on snail denial. Like, that's how Ryan dies right here, right? So we're getting up slightly less or comparable or slightly more warriors than them, and then we're losing them on snail denial.
That's another moment where if you like pause underneath the ledge for a second, you might have an out, or you waste their time a little bit more.
Oh, me for sure. Yeah, it was like a minor panic after getting unexpectedly bumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. If I just like pause there.
Yeah, you probably get up because Matt's in the same spot. Actually.
Yep.
You probably get up. But I mean,
yeah,
that's.
I have on gold skulls if they stick around for like longer than half a second.
Yeah, a little more poison in that spot.
I think the team thing is, like, if we're losing warriors on snail denial and we're also trading snail progress, like, we're letting them move snail so that we can recover warriors, like, both of those things can't be true, which obviously it's not as simple as I decide not to do one of those things. But, like, we can see how if we do that 5 times, 6 times in a row, like, the game ends on snail. This is very unfortunate sequences, I feel like. Like, that bump is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Queen death is unfortunate.
I remember that death.
Honestly, same.
Great
There
clear.
was also a J dive I missed in mid that Asher could have maybe pincered on like a while ago. Just another little mechanical thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I missed the jump there to get an earlier sack. Go for the frame perfect jump.
Yeah. Good kill. Did not see that coming. Another good kill. Snail's stopped. Okay, I like the speed grab. I know it, like, sometimes that can feel like a little absurd to people, but I really like that speed grab. Oh, it was the...
Yeah.
Because, like, one of the things I love here is, like, recovery's been hellish, but, like, say we're not in a position to get another warrior up, but, like, they have to focus on that snail, or we can threaten, like, a speed warrior formation, and then that drives them to the gates more, which makes snail denial easier. Or we can, like, threaten speed snail, you know? Like, there's so many... But yeah, there's not much to say, I think. You have a lot of good plays, they have a lot of good plays.
Yeah, I guess. It's like I know there's a lot of times where it's like, yeah, we should just go clear the snail right here.
Mhm.
So right here, for example, right? But it's also like
It's not like you
it
took a long time
feels
to
sort
get
of
there.
unsatisfactory in some ways, right? It's like,
Like that analysis or that plan or
no, it's not. I don't know. It feels unsatisfactory because it's like, I don't know. It feels like in this situation we're like outnumbered almost the whole game, it feels like. And
Mhm.
for whatever reason, it's like, yeah, maybe we can stall it for like another second or two, but
why are we constantly outnumbered and getting
yeah.
behind
Yeah.
these recovery positions
Hmm.
or pullback positions?
I don't think we're down. We're down like maybe half the time, but we're even a lot.
And maybe that's to Woody's point where it's like, we're getting those forms and then immediately sacking to like a snail clear, right? And not getting the snail clear.
By sacking, you mean dying or trading life?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough because I think you are, like, whether it's by one warrior or if it's just, like, one warrior for, like, another 5-second period or something, like, you do have less active resources at a time. It's tough because, like, I think as a team and as individual players, it's a lot of, like, looking at things that are really boring. So, like, if I just run through, like, a bunch of tiny inefficiencies that, like, don't matter, right? Like, you have this one where, like, there's a period of inert, like, obviously, Chris, we went over it, where it's like you were looking to do the deny, but, like, that you're not there at the same time, the speed and the drone. So, like, I don't know, there's, like, probably a couple seconds of wasted time there. But also Felix goes to left gate and then doesn't get up. So then there's this whole
Why
sequence.
did I leave?
And then, yeah, I mean, and I don't think it's, like, a big thing, but, like,
Is it because I just didn't want to be static there for that long?
yeah, I think so. But it's so,
Yeah.
I wonder if you didn't see Felix because
maybe.
he's in the wrap right there as you leave.
Mm.
And then even this here, we go and tag the only gate that isn't tagged, which is, like, that's a micro inefficiency. Like, if we think of every untagged gate as, like, half a gate, like, we can already use that without queen presence. We can't use the orange ones without queen presence. Why in the world did I say orange? So it's like,
Right here we have advantage.
yeah, totally. But we
Yeah.
establish that advantage 5 seconds maybe of micro inefficiencies later. And that's why gates are neutral and snail isn't at their advantage. Like, it's so, like, if the granularity of these games is so micro that it's like, what does the game look like if those 3 micro inefficiencies in the first 30 seconds or whatever, or 45, I don't know where we're at in the game, if those micro inefficiencies are instead micro efficiencies, like, is snail neutral right now? Is it slightly on our side? Like, it's so minuscule, but it all, like, adds up that it's like, well, that wasn't the maximum effectiveness of each of my teammates' times. And Killer Queen's a game of efficiency, and, like, that adds up. Like, we've now moved snail, like, from here to here. Would we instead have moved snail from here to here? Would snail be on our side? Like, these are the big questions that we can ask and see, like, why we were seldom at advantage.
Okay,
Right
good.
there,
I
the
think
clear,
that's a good
they
way
could,
to
that
look
clear
at it.
could have been harder if Asher had managed to like stay underneath mid gate. That's another tiny micro inefficiency.
Yeah, I just shouldn't be dipping down there to pop the drone. I should just be like holding the stronger spot.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of something that it's like, if you look at your teammate and you're like, dude, what the fuck? Why didn't you just hold under that gate? Like you're being ridiculous, you know? Like that's like this. Chill out. This is not that big of a mistake. Like I don't think we need to be harping on this so much, but like you look at a bunch of those across a map, a bunch of things that just don't need to happen. Like even like this death, I don't think is particularly bad. You know, like you missed a stick or turned around or something, but like, what does it look like if we just scrape underneath that ledge and then we don't die? You know, like it's tons of tiny little things that add up to be another third of their snail distance. And so it's like, if they get a third of snail distance because we're a little like slightly inefficient on gates and holding the snail space, and if they get a third of snail distance because we're slightly inefficient on when we go and tag or clear snail every time the drone is about to get to it. If we're a little efficient on that, if we're a little inefficient on that, like you get to look at a map and go, wow, everyone played great and we lost. And that really is like the difference maker at this level. I mean, you're playing at an incredibly high level of Killer Queen, right?
Yeah.
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 Now it does
Which is why,
like
oh, go ahead.
every sorry. I played a lot of New York matchups over the years, and it does feel like they're very, very efficient at their game plan. Like
Yes.
whatever you might like say about their game plan, they're very efficient at it.
Yeah, I think if you flip it and look at like them, you see very few moments where they endeavored to have control over the snail and it didn't move.
Mm.
Whereas like sometimes where you endeavor to get control of the snail, sometimes it doesn't work out. You know, the bump happens and you go down, or you know, like all this little stuff is like, that's the efficiency. It just goes, like, I don't know, death by 1,000 cuts maybe is a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's the old 1% per day better is what, 300% over a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good point.
Which is one of the things that makes it hard to analyze these games, like to figure out, okay, what are we doing wrong? What are we?
Yeah.
How are we losing to this team when it feels like we're playing pretty well? Because it is the accumulation of all of those tiny little moments, tiny little micros.
Yeah, that's actually like a huge reason why we kind of nestled into the strategy that we did as a team. Was because every time we tried to like outpace New York on all of these efficiencies, it didn't work out. But whenever I got a fourth sword into the air and punched them in the face, it did. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe the lesson is like, we're like every team, every player is going to have like their quirks and like micro inefficiencies or efficiencies, and maybe the best way to the best way to beat someone who's more efficient at you at those things is to just not play that same game and break the rules, figure out a way to like do something unexpected, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's tough because I mean our plan like worked, and also like at 40 we had a worse time against them, and like one of the things that we studied was kind of exactly some of the things that we talked about here, was that we weren't being efficient enough on when we killed snail. That like I counted up like 6 or 7 seconds on a day map and was like, that can't happen. Like the snail can't move when it shouldn't move. And that was like the thing we honed in on for Bumble Bash, was like micro efficiencies. Like they don't get anything for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we could definitely look at.
Sorry, Matt, what were you gonna say?
Full mill, you need to be super on top of popping snail. You need to have like, they shouldn't get any snail progress at all if you're full mill.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the idea is like the bare minimum, like especially like if it's full mill and they're wiped, I think is the time where I've seen people still move snail, and I'm like, warrior, literally just stand on it, literally just stand on it, and they're like, well, that's not efficient, and I was like, whatever you're doing that's letting it move 5 seconds is less efficient, so figure that out. And oftentimes that warrior was me. I'm talking to myself here. I looked at a set and was like, "That what are you doing?" I was like, "I'd rather stand here than make all these errors." But that's obviously like philosophical or theoretical or whatever. It's like an axiom. Like if you stand there, it shouldn't move. So you can do other things and also make sure it doesn't move. Cool. So I wanted to do a time check because I know Chris, you had to go. How long were people even thinking about being available for this? How much longer do people have or want to do?
I can go till I was thinking 6, but I don't have a hard thought.
Honestly, same.
Same.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
I
Like
have to-
40 more minutes. Oh yeah.
Sorry, and I have to
Sorry.
dip right now. So thank you very much, Woody. I will watch the rest of the VOD and see the rest of the feedback.
Of course. Awesome. Yeah, and happy to follow up too. I feel like in the moment is always one thing, but like if you see something and you're like, what? Expound on this more. What do you think about this? Like happy to hash it out.
Anyway,
Thanks,
thanks
guys.
and have a good one, everyone.
See you, buddy.
See you later, Chris. Actually, Woody, what you just said, I think, is a pretty interesting thought experiment. It's like, is what I'm doing right now more efficient than just standing here at the stand? And if it's not, then find something better.
Yeah. It's annoyingly poignant for way too much. I've applied to the same question to like when I'm like ricocheting to try to create plays or something. Sometimes I've been like, is this more efficient than if I just scrape here and eliminate like 99% of failure cases?
There is something to be said about how distracting like Nick Higgins shuffling back and forth, bouncing up and down is. It's like extra noise that you have to parse.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is.
Does anyone want to say anything about this set before we just take a look at it? Famine Fortune, the ultimate 4th place team.
Game 5 hype.
Yeah, Game 5. Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff to talk about in that 5th game, especially.
Yeah, and this first game too, because like we have them on the ropes and we just do not close it out.
Oh, that's right.
Whatsoever.
Oh wait, was that like an iframe death? I didn't even see what happened.
At middle?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
It's also just a reminder, you all know this, but to any viewers, this set happens before the set that we just watched.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, good
Doing
point
it
to clarify.
backwards.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's for like 3rd and 4th place.
Oh, this is interesting. We get a 3rd speed warrior up here.
Love that.
Yeah, once I see that we have the 3rd speed, I'm just like, I'm going to go and kill myself and ride the snail. And then Chris dies, and then we're both like overlapping again.
I think tremendously minor, but I think this is the second time I've seen a situation where who should stay high and who should go low gets confused. You both go low, and it doesn't look like a big deal, but I think we die. Yeah, we lose.
I wonder if it's better,
Chris off
Felix.
of it.
I wonder if it's better for you to like stand on snail there.
Me?
Yeah, instead of dying. Instead of flying into them. Like standing on top of snail.
Oh, you mean
I
when
think
we were
it's-
full mill?
Yeah, when
When we
you're
were full mill.
Oh,
Instead of me dying and just going to ride. I don't know. It might be.
Especially since they got a speed drone.
Did you not know that you were at 3, Felix, or did you want to get up here?
Felix knew we.
Well,
Felix knows
Chris
that we
got
don't-
up after me.
It
Yeah,
happened at
Oh,
the same
does
time,
he?
basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's
Yeah.
you should definitely be getting up, but also Chris's model is, well, I have speed, so I should get up sort of situation.
Yeah, and also it's like half a second. Like I think Felix is in the gate by the time Chris is like locking in.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he's all
Yeah,
like Felix
it's more of
finishes
an
taking
insurance
credit for
policy at
criticism.
that point.
That makes sense. We did
Yeah.
that a lot at 40. Was something that we started looking at. Where I was like, why are we accidentally full mill so much? Had to revise some things.
Yeah, one of the adjustments we made from day one was I went vanilla a lot more. I think we talked about this earlier in the stream. And the reason was because we were just not getting as much. We were letting Snail run a lot when I wasn't up. So it was like, let's just get, or we're losing on defense a lot when I wasn't up. So it was just like, for me, it was focus on getting up vanilla and just doing something with it.
Yeah, I think like my takeaway from that is, I think from this whole call is this, as Speed Warrior, I just need to be more willing to be doing objective stuff. I normally like play the role of a striker, but like just hitting those, like just making sure Snail doesn't move should be everyone's job probably a little bit. Like
Yeah.
if you're close by at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be on everybody's radar.
I think that's it. It's got to be on your radar. It's just got to be like another thing that you're mentally checking.
Woody, do you have any concrete advice for how to maximize snail clear efficiency, or is it like just practice and play together a bunch?
Yeah, I do. There's a program. You can see. I've never done it with more efficiency than we did it in the dust map of grand finals at BB5. So that's probably the best. I'll clip that later and send it. But the program is essentially utilizing the queen to push out their warrior to have your warrior take the space. So like right here, it's you J dive in, and you're doing it right here. Felix takes the spot. So what I want here is, it's tough because you're trying to go the other way, but like.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember like calling that out.
We commented on that, yeah.
So what I would
actually came up with a word for it. It's the install. You install a warrior.
I love
it's
that.
really, really good.
So what I would be doing here as a full team configuration is Felix, you're right here on the other side of the bevel.
Yep.
Hold that spot. These two warriors get your queen out and high, and then you do the same thing on the other side. That's like 75% chance you get a speed warrior kill if the speed warrior doesn't leave. Like just like get queen to go this way, and if you J dive in, queen has to go under either a vanilla or a speed, and abs will probably support over here. But then you can see that like you're stealing. You're like, oh, both of your speed warriors have to be here to stop our snail, and we're still gonna move it. Like that's the idea. You clear that out, and then probably stripes goes in, or even one of my favorites is once queen comes in on the opposite bevel as the vanilla can just transition over. So like imagine right here. It's tough because I do like the decisions you made just because of gates and pressure points and where their team's location is. So I don't actually think you should have done this here. But the idea is like you have a warrior here so they can't move snail that direction. And then you come and clear it out this side so that your snail has unfettered progress. The install. But it's just like you want to hold one side and then have your warrior like rotate over. But I do think you all played it correctly because they have berry progress and you wanted to maintain gate control. And even this situation is really good for you because you made their queen deny snail. It's just tough. Matt, you've had a hard time getting high. We pulled it off now, but they suppressed you low for a while. But yeah, the install, I think, is the number one thing. It can also be done with a speed warrior. Like a queen doesn't have to do it, but the way that it works with a speed warrior is that you have to like pin the warrior that's their warrior that's guarding by the bevel. So it's a longer time commitment because the queen can come in, just swoop through, and like it's over, and the queen gets to leave. But the speed warrior has to like bump for like 2, 3, 4 seconds. But yeah, looking for that play over and over and over and over again.
This is a really exciting game state.
It is. Oh, huge kill. Huge kill. Yeah, this is crazy. Definitely. I don't know what's correct. It's so hard. This is working out though. Do you lose this? You win
How
this
do we
one,
lose
right?
this game?
No,
How
we
do we
lose-
lose this game?
You lose this game?
Yeah.
Tragic.
Oh god. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, this
We
was
should
it was
still be
very
winning
tragic.
though.
My only critique, Matt, isn't even about that. It's when you die, I think it's got to be a tag right. I know it feels crazy, but I think it's got to be a tag right.
I think you're right.
Because it's a lot here. Well, I'm a little wrong because it is fully soft famine. We do get it now.
What the hell?
Oh,
How
I
did we
forgot
lose
about
this?
that. God
Wait,
damn it.
wait, did we win on berries? What happens?
We lose. We get
We
wiped.
we
on the-
lose.
we lose on
So
berries.
how in this state, Ryan, it's you here now.
Mhm.
It's just triangle lock. Like this is this situation that you're in currently it feels not good. But because you have soft famine control, like this is actually winning for blue.
Oh yeah, no, this feels. I'm like, yeah, not mad about this position for blue.
But
at all.
once this happens, we got to be here. Once
Yeah.
this starts happening, and it feels good to be like, well, let's let her out so we can move Snail. But I think you just pump in all those berries. I think you win in a minute to 2 minutes, and you run every one of those berries that you have control over, and they can't do anything about.
Running the berries is a really interesting idea.
I know it's like,
That'd be sick.
but we're so close on Snail. I know that's the feeling, but imagine that there are no berries bouncing around the map right now. Queen is still stuck at Snail and dying trying to get out of it, and your team is just at 5, 6, 7 berries. Like I think that's like poised Killer Queen.
Yeah, I think we talked about that too during our review of this match, where it was like, why don't we just rotate the berries right here?
Yeah.
It's tough because also right here, Matt, this is WinCon. Right here.
Not if I get drone bumped.
Well,
Not if I get heal bumped and I miss it by like gold
just
skulls.
don't do that.
Just don't do heal bumps. True. You're right.
I think as much as I think that is a concern, I think there is an element of like we can't be so scared to lose that we don't win.
Yeah.
And it's only because Snail. The only reason I offer up that point is because Snail is underneath it, and you always like if they send drones, you always have the option of just holding left.
Yep.
This is a tricky team. They do that stuff. But even like right here, it's back to the berry plan. No, it's not. It's different now. You can't win. So this situation, even though it looks crazy kill, even though it looks so much like the other situation, is actually like really harrowing. Because you can no longer win on berries. It still is the berry play, because since they need 3 berries, it's not hard to make it so that they can never win on berries, which would be really, really appealing for you all.
Yeah, this one was the one where I should have ran ahead in the wrap and just like double road.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, we knocked the. That's crazy. Yeah, I love full berry fortress. Run that berry. Get this berry. Form. And I think skulls. Yep, come over. This is crazy. Do we have both berries? Yeah, I think it's 1 form and 1 hold.
Yep.
I think it's like
Did we
fully.
not do that?
Oh, we still have it on abs. I like
We must
it.
have played the whole year. This is we did this a couple of times
Cool.
this tournament.
I mean, it might even be like berry cup. Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Yeah, we're the SF as a whole is certainly no stranger to some of the cheese plays at that.
yeah, yeah. I think you're some of the best at exploring those
Very good.
concepts. Sometimes I
We
call
just
it
didn't have the
austerity.
wherewithal.
Do you have a name for it?
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
like,
Sometimes I
induced-
call it the berry control. Like when it's getting like really close to famine, I'll call it like austerity.
I like that.
Austerity.
I feel like we've called it like induced famine or imposed famine or something like that.
Forced famine.
Like forced famine, but
Keep
like
away.
not. Yeah, keep away, but like nothing's really stuck.
I've said false famine before, but I feel like it. Like sometimes people think I mean like true famine or like soft famine or something. I like austerity
Auto.
program despite it not being
I
something you
sort
can
of,
really say
yeah.
in a game.
Attack famine.
That's crazy though. I'm so glad
So-
losing a map like that. I'm so glad for you that you win the set.
Me too.
Yeah.
He so feels bad of like if that's the difference maker.
Yeah, our memories from this tournament are colored very, very differently if we go on to lose this set.
Yeah, I'd still be pretty happy with fourth.
I'd be happy too, but like
I don't
I'd be
remember that
unhappy
game at
that we went
all.
out that way.
I mean, it's not the historic moment you all got. First seen since
Oh, kick the
Bubble
berry.
Bash 1 to place.
That's not
No, I'm proud of
Portland.
that.
Oh no! Oh,
Portland
gold
State.
stripes, gold stripes. You gotta jump there and then use your heel to kick it under.
Oh, unfortunate.
Oh,
death there.
this is the one that we steal from them. So like this
Oh, did
is
we
sort of the
trade
opposite
Tusker
one.
Knight?
Oh, you trade? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I'd
How
forgotten
do
how
we
this
trade
goes.
this? I don't remember any of these games.
It was the
Oh, God.
Blue Chris heel bump at mid.
Oh my god,
Oh,
right.
this game.
My God.
Holy shit. I
Gosh,
forgot about
yes.
that.
Coppola in the chat when we were talking about like false famine austerity stuff said full Thatcher. Like
Full Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher, the austerity queen. And I
That's
Oh
amazing.
no!
Tragically,
That's excellent.
Thatcher
Oh, that was a
is
sick kick also.
short and snappy and works as a call out.
Full Thatcher.
Thatcher.
If you're just like in the middle of a game, say Thatcher. Like that tragically works.
See, we're doing a much better job at clearing the snail, like at sort of the inflection point against this team than we are against New York.
Oh, I just got they just gave me a free.
I mean, they
kill
also
this
just gave
way.
you a free kill, but still.
I
That's
guess
ki-
if we closely looked at it, they would have more inefficiencies than New York does, probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if they just lost 2 warriors from unforced errors, there's always a tennis phrase I stole.
Yeah, unforced error is useful borrowing.
It's like yeah, your sail's not going to move if you have a couple unforced errors that put you into recovery. Love this. This is one of the few moments from this game where we could probably say the same thing of like snail shouldn't move.
Yeah, that's true.
Like none of them
Oh,
were even
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
I think Ryan was in the best
Yeah.
position to clear it there.
Th-
and it
yeah, that
also,
was on me. I'm not sure why. I mean, I left to help
Well-
to Fairy Berry, but I think I could have just stayed and cleared first.
It oscillates so fast, right? Is the problem. Like right here, if you try to clear this, and you're on my team, I'm yelling at you, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Ab-
then
that's the
suddenly,
decision.
But now,
right here, it's like I'm mad at you that you're not clearing it, and it's like it oscillates so quickly. But I think, in general, one of the, especially with berry running, I think defense priority is my that's my preferred way to play the game, of like trying to stop their objective more than I'm trying to get in my objective. But with
Yeah.
berry running specifically compared to snail, you can like choose when you make your attempt. So like if right here, when is it? Right here. No, I mean you got to get the queen out. Yeah, right here I think is when both abs and skulls collapse on snail. Is my idea. Like both of you go collapse on snail, and then once we have a berry, because I don't even think, do we even have the attempt? Or are we just
no, I'm confused why. Like
Well,
it looks like a decisive move to go to high, but I'm not entirely sure why.
Well-
Maybe I thought checks was going.
Matt
I'm not sure.
clears and then gets stuck there for a brief second. Maybe it's an over response to that.
Maybe.
Which I think is like, if Matt had gotten stuck there any longer, it would have been awesome that so much help came so quickly. But this is looking really good.
Yeah, I think because I was getting up, they felt clear to sort of wait for a second longer and help out in the
Oh.
hive.
I don't know if this is a steal necessarily.
I thought but didn't that win the set? That doesn't win the set. This swings back.
Oh no. I think something else. Yeah, something else wins the set. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
What else? What wins the set is long game of famine and Last Warrior on night.
Well, I thought they were both like that. No.
This one goes to famine,
It does go to
and
family.
then we all die, and then it hits famine, and then Chris gets a heal bump on mid.
Oh, okay. That makes sense why this goes close. I was so confused. Like when I'm looking at like this game state, probably. Yeah, when I'm looking here, even with that death, I'm like, what happens that this is a close game? Like this.
So disappointed I didn't get that stench.
Yeah.
Like, he only turned because of blue skulls was there. I do not think he saw me. It was so unfortunate.
Okay, I see how it flows. A little classic. Dylan puts the queen on last life.
Here, I
Let's
shouldn't
get
be
it
trying to
back.
cross under there. That's okay though.
Yeah, that's queening is just looking back at your games and going, I guess I'll learn to not die like that again. You do that for 10 years.
Just
Have you
don't lose all
considered
three of your
not
eggs.
dying?
Have you considered keeping your eggs?
Have you considered spending your eggs correctly and never incorrectly?
Also, gold checks wants me to dive on them so badly. So scary. Oh wait, they're full mill here. Wait, when did that happen?
Are we?
Yeah, and then
we're near famine, right? It's like last berry, last two berries.
I see
Yeah.
2 berries on the map.
Yeah, I think we called for a keep away a little bit to try and get people up.
We're
And
just trying to
then
get
We
I
shouldn't be doing keep away here. We should be trying to spend the berries on forms,
think
I
we're trying
guess,
to
as quickly as
form.
possible.
yeah.
Because
I
they
think
can't
I just
even
tried to-
they can't even utilize the berries. I don't know if they have 4. Yeah, they can't even utilize a berry.
I'm trying to stay as far away from everyone as I can.
Yeah, I think that's the tough thing is like
Oh god.
surviving and getting recovery is really hard. Yeah, I think it's the joint middle gate there I liked, but this is also good. I think you're gonna run them. Oh, are you gonna run them? I'm so confused.
I'm confused too. I think
You're
I'm scared to
confused,
dive on the
dude?
gate.
I'm fucking confused.
Oh, we gotta be
I
trying to
feel
form.
like I definitely could have tagged a gate there at some point, but I
Yeah.
don't know when exactly.
I do get
It really feels like I
they
should be
were
able
full
to.
mill, so you were kind of in the like, well, we can play forever. Like there's no lose con except for me, so like I just won't let them have that lose con. That's
Oh my god.
bonkers bananas. Okay.
Yeah, this is
feels
not.
so
Oh yeah,
clutch.
this is an easy
Jeez.
win. We're
At
so
this
far
point,
ahead.
Remember, Blue Chris is so excited and dies.
even even here, you should win this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
not
this isn't
exactly a
just steal at
steal.
all.
It's just it's a cool moment.
Both queens on last night, like with 90 seconds. It's tough because there's a lot of swings. I think both teams had moments where it was like quote unquote like salt. There it is, so good.
That's sick.
We'll watch this 10 times.
For anyone in chat, that's a free stick if you full press there. Yeah, if
Also,
you're on the
don't-
ground, not on snail.
Also, everyone should work on their drone. For anyone in chat watching,
Very good.
you can always be better at drone.
Melly's gold checks this set. I became obsessed with heal bumps after ECC 2022.
What was I saying? Oh, I think on that map that there was like multiple like quote unquote, not multiple, like one each team, like a solved game state where it's like we have so much advantage that we like should win the game. So I feel like that was a pretty good map. I don't think that was like a snag. Not a very fun opener.
Not awful, but yeah, not.
Okay.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
this is this is the game where we have
Yeah,
like
talk about
3
unforced
consecutive tunnel
errors.
deaths. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I think we have like 2 or 3 consecutive tunnel deaths.
Oh, that's also unfortunate. Trying to donate the speed form, but then not getting it. At least we do get a form. Oh, I remember that exact moment. I remember Asher saying something on the cab. And I was like, I very consciously made that decision, trusting that we would get the trade for it.
This is the most like 1-1 in losers bracket game I've seen, where it's like everyone wants it so bad. The number of like wild little interactions has been like so many. Like, wait, what the what?
Oh, too scared to push in for the smush in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we biffed this game and then we take it back to day again.
Yeah, I think we had conscious calculus to not play meat because we didn't want to have them be able to reset maps.
Oh
yeah, because of the weird map pick rules. Yeah, that's also why
Yeah.
we double. That's also why we double up on New York nights on in losers finals,
That's fascinating.
so that they are forced to pick either twilight or dusk instead of having the option to go back to day. I think.
Yeah.
I really liked. Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of like this map pick rule set. It's like confusing, but
Oh, I remember this moment. This is sick. And then you call for me to go for a quench, and in the game I had no idea what a quench was. I'm like, what the heck is a quench? And then you totally gave it to me. We could have won the game here. It's right here. You say quench, and I'm like, huh? And that could have been it. It would have been so sick. You could see me pat you. I'm like, I'm sorry.
the queen stench, the quench.
The quench.
I think gold checks had it
Oh.
covered anyways, but it would have been
Yeah.
a 6 window if
so
we'd
good,
gotten
though.
it.
You had like a
Good
like
call.
tiny fraction of a second window to get it.
Yeah. It's either we're not winning on snail, we're winning on a queen kill or nothing.
Yep. Okay, so we take a timeout right here so we can like zoom ahead like
Can we get a reenactment of what you said during the timeout? Word for word.
Hey,
Uh,
let's pick
let's
day
run it back.
again.
I'm salty. Let's run it
Let's
back.
play day again and die less in the tunnel. That I think that was word for word what I said. Word for word what I said. Like we took 2 bad tunnel deaths and then it was kind of over.
Did we switch up our opener, or did we do the same thing?
I
did
think
something a little
we
different.
Yeah,
I
you did.
didn't. I remember in the first one, I bounced a lot more, and then I decided to not bounce and just get second speed. You can see me stay at mid, and then just
Yeah, just
go
get
all
it
the way
much
to
more
their
quickly.
far gate.
In the first
Yeah,
one,
because I just ended up like faffing about.
you both
In the
crossed
first one,
over
I
to
didn't.
far.
I bounced a lot.
You
Yes,
both
that's
crossed
exactly
over to
right.
far gate in the first one, and in this one you don't do the cross.
Yeah, and then I never exactly. I didn't form speed the first game, like until really late in the game, and I just didn't feel like I contributed much. So I decided just to screw it and just get up to second speed quicker.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
good.
that was a good decision.
Oh, gold is full right now.
Do you want to know my opinion on what you should do here if the enemy
Run
team is
berries.
full?
Run berries.
It is berries.
I think.
Hey, berries.
I think, I'm a
I think
speed
we
berry
do.
in this situation.
Do we try for it? I feel like we try for it and we don't end up getting a berry because they lose 2
Oh
warriors.
right, yeah,
Lucas might
yeah.
get- Lucas is-
We like
Call it. We can
Yeah,
make
we
that call.
do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it just takes me forever because I'm vanilla surrounded by like 4
Oh
pieces
yeah,
and
this
then
game
trying
site.
to
They're
like
like,
get
Felix,
over.
come join us.
I'm like
join us.
trying. I'm like cut off by a speed warrior, cut off by a vanilla
Also,
warrior.
Lucas is gonna steal from their pile, like their speed pile.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
specifically.
right.
Yes.
Love that move.
And then I die to a mantis. Like that's the most annoying part. I get back to you guys and then I just die right here.
They're still
Yeah.
full.
Right.
So we still don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Felix, you gotta copy Lucas and steal from the far pile.
No,
Oh wait,
I
actually,
gotta just
that worked out
no,
really
it's
well
fine.
though.
Yeah, I think I wanted a second speed drone there. But this works. Yeah, I mean, you end up. Is it 3 speed warriors? Holy shit.
Yeah, 3 speeds.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to punish. I mean, when somebody goes down, but I think that's the perfect like punish for that exact situation. It's like
Full mill of like extended full mill.
yeah, I mean, extended full mill. Like if they're not creating meaningful threats, it's like okay, I'm gonna use all this time to generate free advantages. I'll also get up infinite speed drones. I'll run berries and like
Also,
make
look at
your
how
team
many
have
berry
lunch.
piles we have. Look at how many berries we have in our pile versus theirs.
I was just gonna say it's like what is it 9-3
Yeah.
in the speed piles.
Just that's a huge advantage. Especially because like they're playing a game that is very focused on getting speed warriors, and you said all of your speed warriors are going to take 7 seconds longer to form. I loved this, Matt. This was kind of exactly what we talked about in the last set of like the preemptive, like instead of pushing in the middle, you just hold left here. I like this a lot. I think that's what I was talking about on that right gate in a previous day map.
Yeah.
Not a criticism of anybody, but I think 2 or 3 warriors have died going into the tunnel to clear something.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I didn't follow my own advice from the last set and immediately went into the tunnel and I'm like, I am dead.
I don't think
Very
it's like
dead.
wrong to go there, but it's just worth assessing like that is a
Very
way in
risky.
which a lot of people have died. Because I mean, one thing is like if you're gonna go into the tunnel, the other teammates need to like be safeguarding your way out.
Yep. Yeah, covering exits. Or an exit for you.
I'll say
Yeah,
let's
we
bus
were.
tunnel or something like that. Get me out. Going into tunnel,
Yeah.
get me out. Get my head. I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah, luckily, for like that death didn't cost us too much since I was able to just get back up vanilla immediately,
Yeah.
and I was vanilla before, so wasn't the worst one.
No.
Whereas the previous two, we just like lost
Yeah.
pieces.
Here's that thing where Gold Skulls just had to spend like an extra 3 seconds to get speed
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
because all their berries are gone.
And then they don't
And
get
then I
up.
denied anyway.
I mean, do they get denied anyway, or do they
That's
get
sick.
denied because? Right?
I
Like,
think because I think we just
Yeah.
had more time. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Like,
have
if
3 extra
That's so
seconds to
sick.
try to break into their position.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like, I don't have time to get all the way around here to the right if that doesn't happen.
mm-hmm. Does that get you the queen kill? Like, the berry sapping is having a pretty significant impact.
Yeah.
Arguably, the berry sapping did get a queen kill. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what ended up happening is, at the very least, we would probably have gone the denial, and I probably would have died. But with the berry sapping, we get the queen kill.
I might be overplaying it a little bit, but it definitely contributes.
It might not be the reason, but it certainly helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the first butterfly effect in a giant chain of things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly the positioning and decision making and teamwork are probably 1, 2, 3, and 4 are probably not that they don't have berries in their pile.
Yeah. But we kind of build that in,
Mm-hmm.
I think, because those are things that we can control.
Yes.
Well, in addition. Yeah.
Go back for a second. I think Asher makes an interesting decision here.
Here?
Back a little bit further, I want to say.
Here?
Yeah, just a moment before this, like 5 seconds before. 5 seconds before this, yeah. So this decision to go around with...
Oh, that is interesting.
Because, like, I could... In some senses, that's doubling up on what Skulls is doing. But also, Skulls can maintain that cap that way
Mm-hmm.
and give Abs...
Yeah, I don't think
room
it's doubling
for
up
the-
because
for the
otherwise I
trigger.
can't. One person can't go in.
Yeah, so that's...
You need two to get.
Like, I don't
be
think I
able
would have
to
looked
be
for
safe
that,
there.
but I kind of like it.
Have I gone too far back, or did I not go back enough?
It's a bit further back than this. It's like 20?
Yeah, like
Here,
Right,
yeah,
that's
this is
here.
about,
Yeah.
about to
Perfect.
happen, yeah. Ends up not turning into anything.
I mean,
just that moment.
it turns into that you take over the zone
Pushes
that you
her
want to
out.
control.
I guess that's true. That's true. Yeah.
It turns into this pincer attempt. Which I think if Matt, you had just held left, I think it's a queen kill almost. Guaranteed. Right.
I think I'm scared of a gold ab
Checkers?
stinge, or I'm
Oh,
scared of
abs.
a stinge. Although, even if I do get stinged, it's not bad, because we're ahead in eggs.
Do you want to know another crazy opinion I have?
Let's hear it.
It's Felix rides.
Oh, speed
Oh,
snail?
I know. I
Yeah.
think that's... Yeah, I like that.
I think I was riding for a second, and then I like bailed to preserve my speed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it flipped from like, we're in snail control, we're not in snail control, we got a warrior kill, now it's good again.
yeah, it's this. Yeah, exactly. The trigger condition of that warrior kill, putting them to 1 vanilla, is why I think it's a great idea. Like right here, so powerful. I think you could have gotten
Yeah,
there before
and
them.
instead I get up, which is unfortunate.
I don't think
No,
bad,
it's
but
fine. Yeah.
I do also think you getting up and probably if this was my team, I would probably have this warrior get up and this drone get speed.
Mm.
Is probably what I would do.
I like the super aggro snail push. I like the speed drone running there personally.
Yeah, I like both a lot. I think they're different. Speed drone on snail is just really, really powerful when your opponent is in recovery because you don't have to devote resources to snail in order to make snail progress happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like really, really easy for your opponents just with sacking, not even with a warrior, just with sacking, to significantly, basically eliminate your snail progress. Like 2 or 3 drones can get there really reliably. So you have to put a guard, and then the moment you put a guard is the moment they can get a warrior up, and it's just like who outplays who on the numbers. I liked the full mill, but I don't like the death. This I think
It's like a go for a really spicy, maybe we'll hit a ginge thing, I think.
yeah. I think my advocacy
Yeah,
for
that was.
oh go ahead.
Oh yeah, that was sort of the directive that we gave Chris if we were ever like, well, that was the directive we gave the vanilla warrior whenever we were up full. It's like do something that's high risk but could result in something cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. With their queen on last,
I didn't go for enough snail clears.
like full bill and kill their warriors. Like punish the queen for not being able to get into the mix. I'm usually not in any rush to get back to 3 warriors. I'm like that's where we'll end up, but I don't think we need to sprint there.
Yeah, it's really easy
I think
to
I've
make
been traumatized by too many. I think I've been traumatized. I don't think I can analyze it objectively.
That's really
Yeah,
fair.
Matt has had a few issues in the past, so we'd like try and get out of full mill fast if we're ever in it.
Okay,
I think
okay.
I need to like reevaluate it. I think I can learn to be okay with it again if I play with a team I'm comfortable enough with for long enough.
It is the one big thing, and it's the thing because our team does it, and I just have to be like the whole team is like constantly reminding each other like defense priority, like
That's a good cap.
they can't be pincering, or they can't be moving objective, and they can't be pincering me. Like how, or our queen or whoever. Like how is our queen dying if we have more warriors? Like that is really good.
I think that's a revelation for me. I think I've always thought of full mill. The only purpose was for queen pressure. I hadn't really thought about it as like you need to be dedicating people to defense.
Or
Yeah, that's how
dedicating people to kicking berries in.
that's how I think about the game in general. Is like the number one priority is defense.
Oh, good. Someone else with the same mentality as me.
It's a good mentality.
It's so interesting. It's not how I think about the game.
Really?
My number one priority is offense.
Yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
definitely
For me, I don't know. It's like I want to put the screws to them. I want to
Oh,
like make them feel the pressure.
to be clear, defense as in denial of your opponent's objective. I think of offense and defense as moving your own objective and denying their objective. And I think of like aggression or pressure are the terms I use to refer to like putting the screws to them. So when I say defense priority, I mean like ledge and snail deny.
Yeah, it's not easing up on the pressure.
Oh wait, hang on, signal.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, that one's even
Wow,
better.
that was an incredible. That was so good.
Dude,
That's-
Blue Chris
that's
so
still hard.
good.
I'm
Oh
still
my
Chris
not
is
at
really
it.
good. One way I've described it is like if running objective is putting a clock on the game, that's like a way that I've heard running objective being described, is they put a clock on the game and there's so many seconds or minutes before the game will end, and unless the opponent responds to it in a meaningful way. If that's how we think of objective, then I think of persistent full mill with a heavy defense priority as choosing to play forever. That it's like I'm taking your clock away, and we're gonna play this map for 20 minutes.
Ash's reaction was really funny there.
Where was it?
Like
I hate
15
dying.
seconds ago.
Oh, it's coming up.
Right here.
Yeah, I feel that.
Relatable.
That's a play I've
Good.
been experimenting with, where you stand on the ground and then wait for them to dive on you to tag the gate, and you come out of your iframes quicker than normal. But Dylan didn't dive on me, so I just died instead.
I see.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a very excellent clear, Matt. I did not expect you to both get the berry in and kill the warrior.
Yeah, I was really proud of that run and clear. I thought it worked really well.
I got killed by them again. Dylan, stop.
I think you have a kill opportunity here. Right here. I think if you bait the tag, like...
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, hit that ledge and then pop back up to the right gate.
Yeah, like sticking rightwards right there. Oh, no, I mean the pincer with Ryan.
Oh, with skulls.
I just want you to bump right there. Like, imagine if instead of establishing here, you establish right here, and you bump.
Yeah.
I don't know if... I think looking at it, I don't think Ryan's like in the exact right position, but I think, Ryan, you probably would have moved differently if your queen moved right instead of left. Right here in the middle. Yeah, it's right before this. I'm looking at this moment. Right here. Right here, I want to kill the queen.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, I want to kill the queen. I mean, even rising up, not even tagging the gate, I think is really powerful. I think pushing here is really powerful. I think there's a ton of... Because instead we get into this tough position.
Oh, this is really scary. This is 4 berries, 3 berries.
Yeah, it's getting close. I think you were correct to go to middle gate and get the form instead of supporting ledge. That's what brought them to 4 berries, but I think just forfeiting the berry was the right call. Oh, that's... I did not realize you went to last first.
I knew I was on last at some point in this game.
I just didn't know. This is a great form. Really good credit to Matt and Ryan here. The exact same time fall. That's like exactly how you get people back up out of middle. We're almost
Oh, I missed the kick.
done. Oh, now you're stuck in it? This is a lot of scary stuff. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. Is Stripe speed? I write snail.
Stripe's got speed. Oh, here, Blue Curse is gonna get the last berry somehow here. Gold Skulls dies eventually.
Oh, we're very focused on last berry. That's good to know. Ooh. Oh.
And now Blue Curse is gonna get it. Oh, good trade, good trade. And now we're gonna window shop eventually.
This is absurd. I mean, gold has to like immediately run the snail. Yeah, that's their plan. I don't know.
This is my favorite. Blue Curse is gonna stay alive forever. Eventually, he's gonna get into that little drone hull in the middle.
I'm happy if I'm gold. This is crazy.
And now Ryan's gonna ride snail.
Yeah, that's definitely
We have the constant threat, though.
Yes.
It's like, you might be happy, but it's like any moment you can lose as gold.
But in my view, they have 2 more military pieces than you do.
We have 1 more objective runner.
You don't, though. Because your objective runner is not running objective.
The objective runner is in position to run objective as soon as the queen dives out.
Yeah.
It gets a stall, yeah, it's a threat.
Moves.
It's a neutral Jin. Now I feel really good if I'm you.
This was such a fun game.
Being equal warriors feels really good here. And they had Because every drone that they have is equivalent to one objective runner because they can only run snail. So more drones doesn't really do anything for them the way it does for you. Yeah, if they had 3 warriors here, if that other one had not died, I feel like they'd be. Oh, they do get the berry in. Oh, I don't even know if that's the. I think if I'm gold, I don't even run the last berry. I don't know.
Yeah, you run the
We were
Thatcher.
thinking they were going to play keep away, but then they ended up just grabbing speed and saying like, "We're going to win. We
Yeah.
dare you to beat us on this snail."
Yeah, I feel like I would have at least wanted to get up the vanilla, but I don't know. It's really hard here. This is Felix almost coming down in time. I don't know what to say. A lot of Thatcher going on. I don't know.
Can you go back a quick sec to when gold S
I
dies?
need to sit through more
I
of
think
this.
there was a I did a drone bump that I liked that I've been working on, like the walk off the edge
Oh, there it is.
bump. I think that's what this one was. No, I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong.
Okay. I'm gonna go back forward to 60.
Yeah, that was just a
Yeah,
really good
go.
move by Asher.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
I don't feel good to be either of you right now. I can't imagine how stressful this was.
Blue queen on last one, berry out. Gold's queen. Yeah.
But I mean, gold also has victory condition, right? Like when those berries spawn, they equally can win the game with 3 runners as you can with 1. It's better for you, for sure. But like, I'm not upset. Oh. Now it's definitely your game.
Yeah, I've been stuck in this situation so many times, so I'm like really practiced at this particular situation.
Yeah, I mean, being the warrior is pretty chill. It's just with 1 to 0 warriors.
Oh yeah,
like,
just
don't die, stay away from the queen.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Everyone on the
easier
cab was like,
than-
Matt, stay on the opposite side of the map. To say
Yeah, I'm as far away as I can possibly be.
How do you get it in so cleanly? Oh, I think
I think
Dylan
Dylan
not see the
has
runner
so many times.
Oh, Dylan holds the gate. Oh,
Yeah, Dylan holds the gate
wow.
because he was hoping that. Yeah, I think he was hoping that one of his drone would be able to drone ledge for a bit.
But Felix kills the drone immediately.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I think they probably get the form regardless.
Yeah. No, it was a misplay. I think he needed to just go. Like as soon as he gets that gate, he needs to go.
Yeah.
Very slight, but important.
That's too much. That's too stressful.
Oh, that was a very, very long map.
Well, congratulations. And that's how they did it, everybody. That is how Yahtzee got 3rd place at Bumble Bash 5 and enshrined San Francisco as the 4th scene to ever place at a Bumble Bash.
Thank you, Woody.
Of course. It was so fun. Everyone have a good time?
Yeah, thanks for the review. This is great.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time, Woody. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is actually, I mean, these have been super fun. Like I said at the beginning, I've never done team reviews before. And it's basically just like, it feels like 2 straight hours of strategy general talk. And it's so fun. It's like my favorite thing. So I really appreciate you all chatting with me because this is my favorite thing to do. So getting to do it with a handful of really great players is very, very fun.
Thanks again.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
Signing off. Talk to everybody later.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.